Hello, glorious soul. Welcome to your Soul Service Astrology update for the week of the 10th of April, 2023. Welcome. I'm Kel. On this here glorious channel, you will find 13 signs sidereal astrology. If you don't know what that means, and I know a lot of you already do because you've been following me for a while, it means it's astrology that matches astronomy. Approximately, generally, there are some nuances to it, but I'm not going to explain those details here. And that's really important. Our ancestors, our ancient ancestors, were looking at the sky country, and how it informed their relationship with the environment and the land that they were on. They were very attuned to the seasons around them. They were attuned to what the environment was telling them, and the sky was part of that environment. They didn't have computers telling them where a planet was sitting in a particular constellation. All they had were their eyes at night to see the visible or the moving stars in relation to the fixed stars behind it. Now, we are living in unprecedented times. I don't say that as a glib anecdote. We really are living in unprecedented times. I feel the uncertainty as a mother and a parent as to what world my children are going to inherit. I also feel the uncertainty around the changes that I can see and feel and notice happening to our culture and society. I don't necessarily feel like all of them are beneficial to the collective. And this is a great segue into the theme for this week. Overarchingly, with Saturn in Aquarius for the next approximately 18 months to 2 years, there is a call for new leaders to innovate. Now, this is interesting because what I'm seeing in my professional career as a scientist is that Generation X are now the leaders within those businesses. I now have a Gen X bosses. I'm Gen X. So I'm not now at the beck and call, sorry, boomers, of the boomer mentality within business. Now, I know I'm stereotyping us all there, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that, but we can definitely see that my parents' generation benefited greatly off consumerism and capitalism. And in this, I'd say, late capitalistic society, because we can definitely see from an ecological perspective, it is not working. So leaders now get to be innovative. And if any generation was to be innovative, it should be Gen X, because we were the ones subjected to survival mode fears from our parents as to how to survive. Now we don't have those. We have liberated ourselves from those beliefs. We've gone and looked at our shadow. We were born with Pluto in Virgo, lots of the Gen X's. So I'm now talking about generational transits here. Lots of the Gen X's had Pluto in Virgo. So we are the ones that were governed to break those ancestral traumas that have come through family lines. Like, it's very easy to think that my grandparents were in the war. They came to Australia after the war. So they had a survival mode mentality. My parents inherited that. They didn't break the chain. Prior to that, my great-grandparents would have been around in the Depression and World War I. So prior to our generation, Gen X, the generations were programmed by survival mode. And now our generation got to ascend survival mode. We got to step into our self-esteem. We got to step into our confidence. We got to see that life can be a whole lot more than just about survival. And that's the transformational power of Pluto in Virgo. It was like, we get to break those ties that hold us back from being, one, truly helpful to ourselves, and two, truly helpful to others, and not martyring ourselves anymore for our survival. Now, where we are at the moment, I've done a lot of shadow work. I've delved into my subconscious. That's the kind of work I'm talking about with Pluto in Virgo. But with the uncertainty in the world at the moment, the Gen Xers are kind of teetering. It's like, have we really done enough work to be able to hold the uncertainty that we're moving in with now? So with Saturn in Aquarius, leaders get to be innovative in business, because lots of us work in jobs and there's nothing wrong with that. And we can work within the system. And in actual fact, I think where I was feeling a lot of angst and I'm not being helpful enough, I'm not creating big enough changes and big enough ripples, and I'm trying to break the system, but we can do it within the system. And so this week's astrology is actually really supportive of that. First up on Tuesday, we have Pluto, which is sitting on the conjunction, sort of on the cusp between Sagittarius and Capricorn. Now, I haven't spoken about that much. A lot of the tropical astrologers are saying that Pluto is moving into Aquarius. It's nowhere near Aquarius, and it won't be for many, many years. It's actually on the cusp between Capricorn and Sagittarius. That's power in it. When the destructive energy of Pluto is transiting from very expansive liberation, liberating our beliefs, liberating ourselves of past programs, which I feel like a lot of Gen Xers have done. Now we're stepping into the realm of how do we destroy the system from within? Now, that sounds quite apocalyptic, but in actual fact, it doesn't have to be. It can be done within the system with love and joy and connection. Those really human things that we realized when COVID hit were really important. Connection, love, joy, and exploration and curiosity. That's the things I missed in COVID. So Pluto is trine Venus in Taurus. So there's kind of the shift of Pluto coming. It's going to take actually quite a long time for Pluto to fully arrive in Capricorn. And that's not a bad place to be. It's actually great to have a really slow shift. Capitalism has taught us that everything can happen fast. You can have everything that you want now. Well, in actual fact, the way Pluto moves is it's not now. I have certainly learned with my temperament and the way that I create, it's not instant. And us seeking this instant gratification holds us back. We can take our time to construct the systems, the methodologies, the wisdom, and to architect our regenerative life within the system. So what I want to encourage you this week to do is, if you are working in a job, in perhaps a business where you do have some ability to make changes, go and feel into where you want to help make those changes. How can you help? So I guess I'm calling on leaders that are innovative and want to help. You can do it from within the system. And that's what I'm doing in my, I don't want to call it day job, because in actual fact, I don't think of it as my day job anymore. I actually really do like it. So there are ways to start gently breaking the system from within. I think the Gen Xers are really in a very powerful position to do that and to hold and support each other while we do it. And we don't have to lead with fear. We can lead with joy and love and curiosity and wonderment and inspiration, like an innovative, inspirational leader. I bet you have met one of those people. I bet you have met one of those people, and that you can notice how they behave, how they feel to be around, and you just start thinking, well, I can do that too. And you start integrating that into your day-to-day. And what I'm referring to there is you getting congruent with how you want to show up and lead. You getting congruent. So this transit with Pluto and Venus on Tuesday is really a call for you to get congruent, one, with your beliefs and your methodologies and your wisdom, but also your values and how you want to lead the changes that we can see coming in. We're at a precipice, and I think I've said this for a very long time, we're at a precipice. So it's really positive energy this week. And there's another aspect on Wednesday, and I'm just looking at my screen where I've got my notes. Jupiter is conjunct the sun in Pisces. Jupiter, if we look at Jupiter as a planet, it is doing us such a big favor because it is so massive and it has such a gravitational pull. It has, over the billions of years that our solar system has been developing and is still developing, it has actually stopped a whole lot of asteroids and space things from hitting us. And it continues to do this. That's why it has so many moons. It just keeps collecting moons because its gravitational field protects us. So if you don't believe in astrology, but you can believe in seeing Jupiter in the sky, which you can see with the naked eye, believe that Jupiter is giving us a big hug and is abundant because it is allowing us to continue on without being obliterated by all the space rocks that are floating around us. So that's why Jupiter has such a vibration of abundance. It has a vibration of joy. It has a vibration of, I'm holding you, I've got you, you get to be in this miracle zone in our solar system and experience consciousness through this human form. You get to be consciousness incarnate. That's what we are, consciousness incarnate, the universe incarnate. We're like all little different pockets of it, but we're still just consciousness, right? And this is trying the sun. And of course, the sun, if we didn't have the sun, we wouldn't be here. So we got the sun, which is we're here, you know, holding our magnificence in the universe with the sun, the creator, with Jupiter, the biggest planet. And we're coming, I'm getting a phone call from someone I haven't seen for a very long time. So that's why I got a bit distracted. Sorry, I'll call them back. So there's this amazing, you know, the creator and the Jupiter are coming together, two big players in our solar system. You get to hold that in your heart this week. The sun is our heart. And you get to know you are magnificent. So this week, I would encourage you, if you are feeling a bit wobbly in relation to this stepping up into your leadership, stepping up into your innovation, stepping up into your wisdom, you know, clearing out those beliefs that the world is doomed, when in actual fact I've received messages is that humans' time here is not done. We are very much needed here. We have a long period of time here. And we are very much going to continue. That's the messages I've received. We are needed here, and I want you to see and feel your magnificence. And if it requires you to commune with the sun, if it requires you to commune with Jupiter and see their magnificence, that's your magnificence, because you were created when they were created. And that's what I always come back to when I need to feel my magnificence. It's like everything in the solar system was there when the solar system started to cool and condense. I was there. The parts of me were there. So remembering that you're soul dust, remembering soul dust. There's a new word for you, soul dust and stardust. You are the planets. And of course, all the atoms and subatomic particles have a vibration. They're all vibrating and we're vibrating with it. So know you're magnificent this week. Stand in that power. I really, really want to give you that gift this week, that you are magnificent. You are the sun, you are Jupiter, you are the whole system. And you get to marinate in that. And that, because those two planets are in Pisces, so that's to know you are consciousness and that we're all consciousness together. And that's to give you that beautiful vibration coming into congruence with the vibration of the universe, which is joy and love and curiosity and wonderment and awe, so that you can step up and be the innovative, inspirational leader and one of the regenerators on this planet. So the final aspect that's going to happen this week is Saturn is square Mars. So Saturn's in Aquarius, which I mentioned. Sorry, Saturn is square Venus in Taurus, Mars. Saturn in Aquarius is square Venus in Taurus. So square energy is this, whoa, it's wobble energy. I call it, it's like, I'm a bit wobbly because I'm moving into spaces which make me uncomfortable. I'm moving into places which make me feel uncomfortable. I'm doing things which make me feel uncomfortable. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. And of course, when you do that, your nervous system responds and goes, emergency, they're stepping outside their comfort zone. So you might feel inattention. Now, I'm not saying it would be a really big nervous system response, but you will still have a nervous system response if you're stepping outside your comfort zone. And your task, if you're willing to accept it, is to be conscious of where your nervous system is this week. As you feel into, you start to feel that you're magnificent and you're all of consciousness, your ego is going to come in and probably throw some horrible things at you, your mind too. So you must remain vigilant. So what happens when we're working to unpack and break various systems, various ways of doing and being, and we're pushing outside our comfort zone, is we're still within the comfort zone and we're trying to be uncomfortable in the comfort zone. So you have to remain really vigilant and conscious that you don't slip backwards. And I'm not saying that, you know, bad you should slap yourself on the wrist if you slip backwards and continue to stay in your comfort zone. You just need to remain vigilant and conscious that you keep checking in with your nervous system and doing the work to maintain a regulated nervous system. And there's heaps of practitioners out there now that can help you with that. And if you're a Gen X, you really need that. Just saying. Then you can continue to move beyond your comfort zone because you're keeping a check on what your mind's telling yourself, what beliefs are filtering through, what your ego's telling you, so that you can continue to make the changes that you want to make and start to begin to lead into that innovative, inspirational leader, not just for ourselves anymore. Saturn in Aquarius is for the collective. It is for collective inspiration and innovation. It is for system change for the collective. So that's where capitalism goes, everything's for the individual, try and collect as much money for yourself, rape and pillage the environment for yourself, accumulate as much money. And that's what we're working against. That is the prevalent system. So if you can start to make little changes within the system while keeping yourself supported and knowing you are magnificent, then we can step up and we can start to make the changes within the system. And eventually one day we will have a system that we all want to reside in. So that's it from me this week. I do hope you have a glorious week. The Soul Service Astrology Planner has started. It started on the March equinox, but I do still have some for sale. They're on discount, 10% off. Use the code 10OFF. You can go to my website, kellygunter.com, to buy one. Remember, you do need to pay for shipping on top of that. So just select your shipping zone and I will ship it out to you straight away. It's still well over, there's probably 12 months still left in that planner with 10% off. And if you would really like to understand how these transits, how you respond to these transits, how you fit into this magnificence of consciousness as a divine human, then I would ask you to consider doing a birth chart evaluation with me. That is a one-on-one online session where I describe to you your beautiful alchemical celestial blueprint, your purpose, your service, how you can overcome self-sabotaging beliefs, how you can achieve your goals, and how you can know and understand your brilliance, your magnificence, and your power, and what archetypal energy is supporting you right now, so that you can make the changes to become the innovative, inspirational leader. So go to kellygunter.com if you're interested in a birth chart session. I'm booking those for May and June at the moment. So have a glorious week and I will see you next week. Bye.